So hello, everyone. My name is Karen Tobin. I am a senior interior designer and the interior design lead at BSA Lifestructures in our Raleigh studio. And we also have Kaylee Ferraro with us.
Hi, I'm Kaylee. I'm new to the interior design team in the Raleigh office. I started about 6 months ago and I'm fresh out of school.
And today, Kaylee and I are going to tell you all a little bit about interior design and what it looks like to be an interior designer. So with that, we will start our presentation. So what is interior design?
Interior design is a distinct profession with specialized knowledge applied to the planning and design of interior environments to promote health, safety, and welfare while supporting and enhancing the human experience.
Qualified by means of education, experience, and examination, interior designers have a moral and ethical responsibility to protect consumers and occupants through the design of code-compliant, accessible, and inclusive interior environments that address well-being while considering the complex physical, mental, and emotional needs of people.
Interior designers contribute to the interior environment with knowledge and skills about space planning, interior building material and finishes, casework, furniture, furnishings and equipment, lighting, acoustics, wayfinding, ergonomics and anthropometrics, human environmental behavior.
So what does a day in the life of an interior designer look like?
Some days we are networking and learning about new trends and products.
One of the most fun things about being an interior designer is all the networking opportunities that we have. So we need to be up to date on all the trends and all the products that come out so that we can share those with our clients. So a lot of times reps will come together and do big events for interior designers so that we can see their new products and also have fun while doing it. So tonight I'm at an event called Bonnets Fest, and there should be a lot to see. So let's go check it out.
Some days we're working on 3D visualization. This is one we did for the UNC Rex Cancer Center.
Some days we are on project sites.
We are here today at the UNC Rex Cancer Center, and this is a project that we did that is under construction now. So we're here checking to make sure everything looks good. So we're looking at the floors, we're looking at the walls and the lights, making sure everything works and that it is what we detailed and drew it out to be.
And some days we're giving presentations. This was a hybrid virtual and in-person meeting we had for a general classroom building. And we'll just walk you through some of the presentation that we went through. So we talked a lot about the floor plans and certain areas, how the design was starting to be applied. So here is the lobby of our general classroom building, and we started with the flooring, talking about how we were going to use terrazzo and carpet, and just focusing on some of the more high-level finishes throughout the space. Forward a little bit. And we talked about accent materials that we were using, so accent finishes, accent wall materials, accent paint, and we used color coding to designate what was going where. And then we talked about the ceiling, so we worked our way up, talking about the feature material ceiling we have here in the middle. We're looking at a wood look ceiling. The client had a lot of concerns about accessibility, so we talked through that in the meeting. And we also touched on the lighting type. So we're proposing a linear fixture around the perimeter here and around our stair, some simple can lights in the wood ceiling as well as around the perimeter. And we went into a couple 3D views. So we call this a white box 3D. This is just helping to show the scale of the space and give them a sense for connection to other spaces and daylighting. You can see some feature material here, but you're not exactly seeing what colors and finishes go into the space quite yet. And then we go into a full-on 3D rendering. So you can see here our lobby space. Here's that ceiling I was just referring to, and some feature elements. We've got a green wall in this project, which you can see here on the right-hand side. On the left, we have a logo wall as well as some technology that we're integrating. And we really wanted to emphasize wellness and encourage people to use the stair. So you can see here that stairwell that we have in the middle. Just some additional presentation materials and a little bit better view here. So you can see that feature wall with our preserved moss material and the monumental stair. This is in the pre-function area. So this is an auditorium. So this is where people gather before they go into the auditorium. We talked a bit about the featured glass here, the furniture layout, and again, we're bringing in that wood feature material. And then the student comments. Here are the finishes we had laid out on the table, and we also had it visual or visible on the screen as well, since it was a hybrid meeting. So we're working through documentation on this now.
So that leads into some days we are documenting. So this is about that project that Karen just walked you through. So a little bit more behind the scenes of what we do for it. Some days as interior designers, we work on documentation. This is a program called Revit. We work on this program file with the architects and MEP, so mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, and anyone else who's on the team itself. So on the left is the project browser. This is where you'll be able to find any of the working plans, ceiling plans, details, elevations, and anything else that is necessary for the construction and documentation of the project. So I'll show you a little bit about what the interior designers work on. This is the interior finished specification sheet. On this sheet, you'll find all the information involving every single finish that's in the interior of the project. So it'll have all the documentation on every single paint color, every single floor pattern and floor material and everything else that's on here itself. This is the interior finish detail sheet. So this will show you the standard installation methods for the floor bases that are in the project or the transitions that are in the project and how it needs to be installed. This is the interior finish plan. So on this plan, it shows you all the rooms within the project, and it has the room names, and on the little tag it has what the floor type is, what the base type is, and what the wall type is. And these little codes reference back to the finish specification sheet. It tells you the exact carpet that's in here, the exact base, and the exact paint color. And this little remark right here is in reference to a detail within the room. So this A is in reference to this accent wall that's right here.
So you can see every day is a little bit different, and it brings new challenges and exciting opportunities. It's one thing that both of us really love about being interior designers. But really, at the essence of interior design, it's always about the people. We are working for the people, we're working with the people, and that's why we love what we do.
Well said.
So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Karen and Kaylee, for your presentation. It was really awesome. I'm Monique Wallach. I am an architectural designer with BSA Lifestructures. I work pretty much every day with Karen and Kaylee, and I really don't think that what I would do would be possible without coordinating and collaborating with them. And I really do think that having that interdisciplinary interaction collaboration really elevates the design of all of our projects. But with that said, I'm going to walk us through our interior design activities. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so you should now see we have a digital finish board that we're going to do. So when you first open up the activity, it's going to probably take you to Google Slides. And you're going to notice that you're not going to be able to edit this file. It should only be in view mode. Right, so I tried to touch that and it says this needs to be saved as a PowerPoint. So the first thing you want to do is when you open up this presentation, you want to go to File, you want to go to Download and Microsoft PowerPoint. And now I've already downloaded this PowerPoint, and now I'll open it up there and we can walk through the activity here. So now that you have it open in PowerPoint, you should be able to edit this with no issues. You'll be able to see that you have various slides where you can insert images, and I'll walk through all of that in a moment. But what we want you to do is we want you to collect finished images for your project. You know, we say here folders, but really they're just slides. And you're going to have a slide for inspirational / precedent images. I know some of you have already collected some of these, so this can be a place where you can now all drop it and you'll have one place for all of your images. So you'll have precedent images for the exterior of both your bridge and your kiosk, and then the interior of your kiosk. And once you have all your precedent images, you can now move on to determining what do you want your design to be, and usually this can be based off of your precedent images. Or you can kind of take bits and pieces from each precedent image and kind of make your own design style with it. And it says here, and I want to just kind of highlight this, and you'll see I have an example that I did and put together really quickly that if there are categories that you see on here, don't feel like you need to fill them all out. You can modify these categories, you can make new ones. Just because something says, you know, kitchen counter or you know, hardware doesn't mean that you have to do it. It would be really great for you to think of those things, but if there's something else that's important to you, like accent tiles or you know, furniture finishes, you can also add that on here. So feel free to modify this to however best you see fit. And again, same with the image sizes. You'll see in the example that I did, I modified some of those, and we'll walk through that in a second. Next, if you need some suggestions on where to find finishes or inspiration photos, there are some links here that are provided to you. You don't have to only use these. Google Images is a really great tool to find a lot of photos. Going to like architecture websites like ArcDaily is really great. Or again, just kind of if you've seen something in a movie or a TV show, you know, wherever you want to pull from, that's fine. We're just, you know, giving you somewhere to start in case you don't know where to start. All right. So again, here we are. These are some precedent images. Again, you'll see there's some for your kiosk, some for your bridge, and then we move into the finished board. So you'll have an interior finished board for your kiosk, an exterior finished board for your kiosk, and an exterior finished board for your bridge. And so like I said, I did an example. I didn't fill out every image, but I'll show you how you can add images onto here. So I chose to highlight the kiosk. I wanted to put some precedent photos together. I didn't put any exterior on here, but I wanted to really think about the interior and what I wanted in my kiosk. And I thought, you know, I think I kind of want some industrial feel to it. I want it to feel a little bit moody. So again, even though this maybe looks like an office space that doesn't apply to my kiosk, I wasn't really focusing in on that. I really liked the combination of wood and black steel here. So again, you can take bits and pieces from all your precedent images. They don't have to make sense to anyone else really but you. Again, here I kind of liked all of the black accent tile. I really liked how it kind of turns down onto the ground and like disappears. I think it's pretty unique. So that's why I put this photo on here. And then I also figured that I think I kind of want to do a coffee shop. And so I looked at some industrial design coffee shops. And I really liked the use of this wood and integrating it with a green wall because that's something that is important to me and something that I wanted to have featured in my kiosk. So now you can see again, if I go back to the precedent space, you see these are all just like 4 rectangles. Obviously my image here didn't fit that. So, you know, again, feel free to modify these how you see fit. And then I also labeled these based on what I liked about them. So here I said feature stair. And here I said accent tile design. And then here I said green wall, because sometimes if you come back to these, you might forget why you liked them or why you chose that photo. So I just like to do a little blurb on why I picked this photo and what it means to me. And then coming into the interior finished board, again, I didn't fill all of this out, but I did modify some of these. So flooring, I knew, again, I want this to feel pretty moody. So I chose a darker wood tone, you know, with pretty parallel graining. Main light fixture, I really liked, again, kind of the black steel look. So I really liked this. I think this at one point said kitchen counter. Again, revise this to what you want. I called this the retail counter because I want this to feel pretty moody. So I wanted a nice dark countertop. And then again, I wanted my main wall tile to be this really nice textured white subway tile. So I call that my wall tile. And then I have an accent tile here, which is this green color, which will also play off the idea of the green wall in the future. So you can see here that, you know, I'm just starting to fill this in. I didn't do all of it because this is just an example for you all. But when you do want to go and add a photo, you just click this little icon here. It'll take you to somewhere on your desktop. You can see this is where I saved all of my photos. And what they'll do is they'll kind of fit the image to the box. So again, this is a pretty square image. If I fill it in here, you know, you see it fits the whole thing. So again, feel free to modify these how you want. Otherwise, your image will just become a little distorted, but you can always, I'm gonna just delete this. And you'll see if I delete this guy and I make this a little bit more square, then I kind of can get the whole image in there. Like, let's just say, you know, this guy, it fills it all in because it'll fit the image to the size of your image box. So just keep that in mind when you're filling this out. And lastly, I wanted to show you again where to find stuff. I did all of mine through Google Images. Again, there are some websites here that you can use, but I know sometimes those can be a little bit limited to what's on the website. So when I was looking for furniture, I just said industrial wood chair, because again, I wanted, you know, to play between the black steel and the wood. If you're looking for like a chevron tile, you know, chevron accent tile, and a bunch of different options come up. So I feel like Google Images, you know, if you're not sure what you want, just start typing in anything. Another option is to type in texture after it. So when I was looking for a wood, you know, instead of typing in wood, I said wood texture. And you get a bunch of different images of different wood types, and they're all really up close, and you can see in pretty good detail what each of these woods would look like up close. All right, well, that's pretty much the finished board activity. This should be pretty fun. It's usually always nice getting to compile a bunch of pretty photos together, and it's really whatever you want it to be. So I would just encourage you to have fun with it. You know, don't think too much about it. Just Google, take some time to think about what you want your place to look like if you haven't already thought about it. We look forward to seeing all of your finished boards. So with that, I am going to stop this recording and we'll take questions for the group.